Wall Street executives, a handful at least, have been cheering Joe Biden's pick of Senator Kamala Harris as his choice for a running mate. Here with his exclusive report on that is CNBC.com political finance reporter Brian Schwartz. Brian, good to see you.
Good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm good. So you canvassed a handful of Wall Street executives after he announced Kamala Harris as his running mate. What did you find?
Well, what we found out was, they were very happy to see Senator Kamala Harris get the VP nod. We know people over at Signum Global, which is a financial advisory firm, basically, as soon as Senator Harris was announced, sent out a memo to their clients that there really should not be any worry going forward about Joe Biden or his potential administration going too far to the left. And that sentiment really was resonating from the people we spoke to who work at hedge funds, private equity firms, lawyers who are on the corporate side, and some bankers who also see this pick as something where basically proving that Biden is not going to shift too far to the left in what they see as progressive policies, and that she's really going to be key to raising a lot of money for Joe Biden as we get down to the final stretch here with about just under 90 days left to facing Donald Trump and Mike Pence in November.
We talked about this last hour. Let's face it, if Biden wins, he's going to inherit a huge budget deficit, a much larger debt because of all the money that's being spent on COVID. And one way that you fix that is by raising taxes. And even Biden has been talking about that at some point. He may be a centrist, he may be a moderate and stay there with Kamala Harris coming on board the ticket here, but he's going to have to do something fiscally to try and fix the situation with the deficit, isn't he? And Wall Street can't be happy about that.
No, I don't think they're thrilled about the fact that corporate taxes are, as Biden has said, will go up if he became president. He's also said he's going to raise taxes families who make over $400,000. But, again, I think if you're a Democrat on Wall Street, or even, people who would consider themselves independent, who lean one way or another depending on what policies they prefer, I think this also comes down to right now, or at the immediate time what we're looking at, they just don't really want to see Trump in the White House anymore. They don't like what they're seeing. They've done well with their business model, which makes this even more fascinating. Again, people in the finance sectors, have done very well under Donald Trump, but they just don't see this, particularly in the wake of COVID. We've done some previous reporting on this as well, that Trump really is the right leader to bring the country forward. And that's really, at the end of the day, where this is coming from. But when you speak to them, there also is this other concern, albeit really not, they're not, freaking out about it, but there is talk on Wall Street about this idea that their taxes, in all likelihood, if Biden wins, are going to go up, but they're willing to sacrifice that in some cases to see Donald Trump no longer be president.
And as one guest with Melissa just said, maybe trade is another wild card here, that the trade policy of the United States may change, sure, and that might be more favorable to some companies here in the United States.
Yeah, again, it's another key factor here. She's right, and I think we're going to have to see all this thing plays out. Another key point going forward, Elizabeth Warren is not VP, but there's a lot of talk that there's a possibility that she could be chosen as Treasury Secretary if Joe Biden goes on again to beat Trump down the road here. Could she have some sort of other role in the White House, a Biden White House? We'll see. And how will markets respond to that is another big question mark as we move toward November.